This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Well, look at you getting tech smart, because you know if you're not, you're going to be left behind. I know. But here's the deal. I'm so glad that you're joining me here for the podcast. Okay, here comes hour 1. But as you know, it's not really an hour. That's what we say in broadcasting because, well, the radio stations have to hear the commercials and you don't. I thought this was just so fascinating. How would you like to know how much money you're going to be earning in the future? Okay, so many of us, we ask our friends, maybe we actually even go to a career counselor. Okay, not anymore. Listen to this. This is amazing. A massive new study scanned almost 100,000 LinkedIn headshots. So, of course, they used artificial intelligence. And it pulled personality traits straight from the people's faces, and they predicted their income better than, say, a college GPA. So if the AI decides that your face looks desirable, okay, that's their term, not mine, you could earn almost 10% more in starting pay. So for some MBA grads, having the right digital vibe was linked to $1.6 million in a career just by looking at a headset. So what exactly is the AI looking for? This is what it says. Consciousness. They want an extrovert. It reads it in your jawline, in your eyes. So basically, if you look like someone who's going to show up to work on time and bring your greatness every single day, then the AI is going to say, yes, we should actually look at that person. Now, the reason why I bring this up is, guess what? Yes, recruiters are now scanning LinkedIn photos using AI to decide if it's even worth checking you out. Wow. I guess you could say that your career prospects are looking forward. Oh, ho, ho. And on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this. It's America's largest, best, biggest, award-winning show about all things digital. It's called The Kim Komando Show because, after all, I'm your beloved digital goddess, and you can find the show on over 425 top stations from coast to coast, and we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And, of course, you can get The Kim Komando Show as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I am there. Just search for Commando with a K, of course. Now, let me tell you, if you're more of a visual person, like that whole LinkedIn survey I talked about, head over to youtube.com/Kim Komando. And that's where you can watch our shorts. You can catch highlights of the show and all kinds of good things like that. And the Komando hotline's open right now at 1-888-825-5254. But let me tell you an insider secret. Shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, if you go to Komando.com, there's a button on the top that says Ask Kim. If you fill all that out and you give us your questions, you don't have to wait on hold like hours and hours like these other people. You can just get scheduled right into the show. That's Komando.com with a K, of course, Ask Kim button right at the top. All right, then every single day I am out and about talking to industry insiders and even hackers and reading anything and everything I can to make sure that I'm updated on everything digital. And here are the top 4 things that you need to know about right now. And we're going to start with the Nancy Guthrie. Gosh, just a horrible, horrible situation there for everybody involved. But the thing that I want to talk about is that the electronic devices that we use each and every day, you know, it captures more information than I think a lot of us realize. Like, for example, the Nest doorbell cam at the front door of Nancy Guthrie. That was the one that the local sheriff's department thought was useless because there was no subscription to record and store the images. But it recorded everything anyway. The FBI dug into what's called residual data in backend systems. Okay, in plain English, even without a paid subscription, that camera was still sending valuable data to the cloud. Thumbnails, motion events, connection logs, video. It was all sitting on servers. Now, unlike most security cameras, Nest uploads clips to Google servers even without a paid subscription. Older models can store up to 5 clips for 3 hours. Newer models, 10-second clips for up to 6 hours. Now, of course, we saw the videos. The suspect tampered with the camera, and they thought he was in the clear. He tried to cover it with plants, and then he tried to remove it. But those grainy clips captured critical details. A masked figure wearing gloves, carrying a bulging backpack, a holster positioned really weirdly in the front, a jacket with reflective stripes, those gloves. Okay, traced back to a Walmart in Tucson, Arizona, which, by the way, if you are an older adult and if you're wondering how you can stay safe, make sure that you actually subscribe to my newsletter called The Current, because I'm doing a whole special series just about that. You can sign up right now over at getkim.com. All right, moving on to number 2. This is a very, very sad number, 500,000. Wow. This is incredulous. That's how many kids Meta Insider said were getting hit with sexually inappropriate messages every single day on Facebook and Instagram. And the worst part is the executives, they knew about it. Malaya Andrus worked for child safety at Meta for 7 years. She was on something called the Groomers Task Force, tracking adult predators who are targeting minors on these sites. Now, in a June 2020 email to executives, she warned about those 500,000 daily victims in English markets alone, and added, "We expect the true situation to get worse." Okay, these are adults that are letting predators run around and saying it's going to get worse. She also wrote this: "Nowhere in the history of humanity could you have a secret conversation with 1,000 people. I'm actually scared of the ramifications here. This all came out in a trial against Meta that kicked off this past week. And the state's going after Zuckerberg for knowing letting kids get exploited through creepy DMs, extortion, trafficking. You know, he doesn't let his kids on the service. Just saying." All right, let's talk about some tech updates that you need to know about. And first, we're going to say advertising, advertising, advertising. Yes, it fuels everything on the internet, and now it's fueling artificial intelligence. Ad testing started for ChatGPT free and Go plans. Paid folks, you are now staying promotion free, at least for now. They say that the ads are clearly labeled. They don't affect answers, and they don't show up near health, mental health, or political topics. Okay. That's all for now, because that's what tech companies always do. They come out with these great things, and then afterwards, like, you know what? We just had a change of policy right there. That's as soon as after they suck you in. Now, if you want to opt out, you go into settings, ad controls, and change, and then you have to go ad free. But you will see fewer free messages. I mean, it's up to you. If you want to pay, then you don't see the ads. But if you're not paying, expect a lot of ads and even like slower performance. Apple's dropping a new budget iPhone any day now. It's called the iPhone 17e, I guess for not expensive. $600. This one packs the A19 chip, which is better. MagSafe charging, you'll love that. Some in-house wireless cellular hardware. But if you're rocking an older phone that's not getting updates, I'm talking to you, iPhone 8 crew, this could be your ticket for avoiding that $1,000 sticker shock when you go out and buy a new iPhone. And Amazon, wow, is there anything that Amazon is not getting into? I mean, think about this. You can buy just about anything on Amazon. And the company started by selling books online. I mean, what was up with that? Well, same-day prescription delivery. This is going to kill the local pharmacies, I'm telling you. Same-day prescription delivery is expanding to nearly 4,500 cities here in the United States by the year's end. They already have prescription vending machines at their One Medical clinics. So for $5 a month, Prime members get unlimited generic medications. Your local pharmacist knows your name. Amazon's betting you're going to trade all that for speed, cheapness, and convenience. Wow. Nowhere is safe with Amazon. And finally this, Gen Z. You know, we talk a lot about them here on the show. You know, those are the young adults, you know, say anywhere between, say, 18 and 27, somewhere in that range. I actually have a Gen Zer son, so I can relate to some of these. But when I saw this, I thought, I don't know if my son would actually be doing this. Only 25% of all 16-year-olds have their driver's license today. Wow. Think about that. When we were growing up, I mean, you couldn't wait to get your driver's license. It was like, that's all you could do is get your learner's permit. And then all of a sudden, 16 years old, you got behind the wheel and you were like, yes, I'm finally free on my way to adulthood. Only a quarter of all 16-year-olds even want to do that. 80% of 18-year-olds have a license. By 19, that's 87%. And now, Gen Zers, they would rather pay surge pricing for an Uber than learn to parallel park. Which, let me tell you, I really stink at parallel parking, so I can relate to that. But I only have really sight out of one eyeball, so I have an excuse. 62% of young drivers have what they say fuel anxiety. They let the gas tank hit empty just to avoid having to put gas in the car. Anxiety. Okay. Now, this is the one that I have trouble believing. They polled 100,000 U.S. college students. 35% of them admit that they are scrolling on their phone and texting when they are having sex. 35% scrolling. Let's see, just like they're at the dentist's office. Oh, look, what's on Instagram? Wait, hold on just a second. I'll be right there. Wow, I have to share this with somebody. Maybe I should take a selfie. 35%. Wow. I'm not ready to say that romance is dead, but it might need airplane mode to survive. That's for sure. All right, let's see. Coming up, there's a new trend that's all over social media, and I participated in too, and I'll tell you more about that. Some spring break flight deals that are out right now, and why now is actually the time for you to be shopping for those flights. And also, do you go to ChatGPT for financial advice? Well, there's some new research I have to share about that. And of course, we have just the best callers ever in the universe, and you have me, Kim Commando. Hey, I just want to say thank you to everybody for making my newsletters this screaming success. Almost 1 million folks get it every single day, and the open rate is close to 50%, which is like unheard of in the newsletter industry. I know some people will be like, that sounds pretty bad, Kim Commando. No, actually, it's fabulous. And if you're not already getting my newsletter, make sure you sign up right now. And here's a secret. If you go to winfromkim.com, that's winfromkim.com, not only do you get signed up for the newsletter, but you also are entered to win in our February cash grab. That means every single day somebody's going to win a $250 Amazon gift card. Again, that's winfromkim.com. Well, hello there, Andrew.
Kim?
Are you ready to start some phone calls?
I think that's what we're supposed to do right here.
Yes. That's what we did in rehearsal. Oh, no, wait, we don't ever have rehearsals. That's the problem. Alex in Reno, Nevada, welcome aboard. Hi there, Alex.
Hi, I guess I am worthy, huh?
No, that's right. I forgot. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Yes. That's how long I've been listening to you. And everything you say is just like the thing about incognito.
Incognito,
but getting along, I thought maybe I'd share. I use verified or been verified, or I get in touch with socialcatfishers.com in regards to the question I threw at you. I wonder if you'd had any experience with these sites by any chance.
So why are you going to these sites?
Well, I'm basically about social media. The fishers and catfishers are probably two terms that people should familiarize themselves with, because a lot of this dating site stuff is basically to bet information to steal your identity or to.
So do you have do you have a woman that is promising love? Is that it?
Well, yeah, that's what it usually starts as. For example, I'm not using my real name on Facebook for reasons because I'm being stalked. And this woman has like 35 different profiles on Facebook.
Why is she stalking you?
One of them, yeah. Well, because she keeps sending me these friend requests with different names, but the same profile picture.
So why don't you just you can block friend requests so you don't get annoyed by that.
I do that. Some of them she doesn't send a picture, so it takes a little bit before I actually get a picture from her. And I've documented like 35 different profiles on Facebook this woman has. One of them is like Precious Spin Beloved.
Is this someone you know in real life?
Yes. Why are you even bothering with this?
Well, I don't. It's just that they come up randomly, and how do you say? I usually block them or report them. But for a while there, I was actually enjoying playing with them, their head, so to speak, in a sense of,
all right.
To find out what their motive is.
Their motive is to steal your money.
In me?
No, they're not interested in you. I'm sorry.
No, most of them aren't. I do find one or two that's I actually have added one or two people as friends because they actually were real, And I've had, video calls with these two gals and they're, somewhere across the country, but they never asked me for money because I have online rules of engagement.
Of course.
One of them is I never send anybody money that I haven't already face-to-face met.
Yeah, you've never even sent me money.
Sorry, Kim.
No.
You never met him. You were going to ask him for that $15,000.
No, but I have subscribed.
We appreciate that. We'll take that as cash payment.
Yes.
So basically, here's the deal. So basically, this is a hobby for you. right?
Well, kind of, yeah. It's a pastime.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is a hobby where you are luring them in, or they're trying to lure you in under catfishing.
Exactly.
And then
Right.
you are using these various services like Been Verified or whatever to see if it's actually legit or this person's legit. What do you think the percentages are that they are legit?
Carry the 5 divided by 0%.
Yeah, I think that would be a big fat 0. I think that would, even the 2 that are supposedly your friends right now.
Just give them time.
I know, it's just a matter of time.
Just wait until the holidays roll around.
Oh, and love is in the air because it's almost Valentine's Day.
That's right.
So
I'm sure. Do you think these romance scammers rev it up on Valentine's Day?
Oh, you know it.
Of course.
They rev it up all the time. You know, you don't need to actually pay for you can do a reverse image search. There's also a site called tineye.com and pimeyes.com. And, that's also something that you can start using AI for. You upload an image and you say, hey, have you seen this person anywhere else on the internet?
And I hate to break it to them, it's not the same woman. It's just a bunch of scammers using the same photo over and over and over. And they're probably not even women. They're probably guys eating Funyuns in their mom's basement.
Or in Nigeria. So, Andrew, have you fallen into the whole caricature ChatGPT trend online?
No.
Why not?
I don't even know what it is.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay. So what you do is that you go to ChatGPT and you say, create a caricature of me based on everything that you know about me.
Ooh, interesting.
And then it creates the big head and the little waist and then maybe like some props around you. So when I had it do me, it was me holding a microphone, had an on-air light, and then it had like my website and newsletter where it said Kim's Tips. And then it had all cash around my head.
Oh, boy.
Isn't that funny?
You were proud of that?
I just thought that was crazy.
ChatGPT thinks you're greedy.
I don't think so, greedy. I'm very successful. I think that's what that
that's how
is.
you're interpreting. What's the robot behind your shoulder?
That's because I talk about AI a lot.
Oh, okay.
That what it may be. Now, some people are also saying, yeah, but what exactly is this doing? This means that ChatGPT knows all this stuff about you because you've been feeding it all these different things. And if you want to see what ChatGPT knows about you, go into settings, personalization, and then memory. And then you can see what it already knows. I mean, the character is free. The data is the price of admission, right? So,
absolutely. And I wanted to know things about me. I wanted to when I go to it, say, hey, do you remember when I said to do this? Do it again. Yeah. And do it the same way.
Exactly. I was fighting with Claude this morning.
Oh, no.
I know. I'm like, I even said, are you not paying attention?
Can I tell you a ChatGPT? I was doing homework with Brielle, and she has math that's, beyond sophomore year.
Okay.
So I need a little refresher, a little help. And I said to it, I took a picture of the problem. I said, she came up with X equals 8. Is that correct? And I don't know why ChatGPT is so conversational these days. It's really annoying.
You're like, I just want my answer.
Just say yes. Let's be done with it. But it's like, I hate to break it to you. And I think she's doing these things right. But the answer is not X equals 8. Let's figure it out. And then, it goes through all the calculations. And by the end, it goes X equals 8 is the answer. And then ChatGPT even said, oh, I messed up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it can be very frustrating, but not as frustrating as dealing with Siri. That's the worst. That is.
You always love to take a shot at Siri.
Oh, because it's just so annoying, especially because, you buy this $1,500 phone and it's supposed to have AI baked in, and they promised you would have AI baked in, and you suckered into it and you believed it, and then it just falls flat on its face.
Do you think they care? Do you think they're constantly sitting there worried at night going, man, Siri doesn't work. We need to improve it?
Yes, because they heard Kim Commando's pissed off.
Yeah. Get to work, Apple.
That was it. Stacy in Columbus, Ohio. Welcome aboard, Stacy. Glad to have you with us.
Well, I am so excited to meet you. I got to be honest, this is the first time I have ever heard your show, and I've been enjoying listening to it. And the reason I found you is because I'm part of a writers group, and we have a woman that teaches us tech. And I said, how do you know all this about these AI scams and stuff? And she's like, well, I listen to Kim Commando. And
I love that.
Yeah. And I was like, I've got to listen to her. And I had this, I said, do you think ChatGPT could help me with these financial reports? And she's like, that would be a good question for Kim Commando. So I got on your website, and they said, if you ask them your question. They'll get back with you. I thought, no way, really? And they sure did. So now I
that's
get to talk
awesome.
to you and,
Well, thank you.
Yes.
So welcome aboard. Glad that you're with us. So tell me what's going on and how can I help you?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself first. I am a speaker and author and coach. And at 20 years old, I broke my neck in a diving accident. Yeah. So what I did since then, actually, I've become a wheelchair athlete. I've done marathons.
Wow.
And, yeah, it's really a great ministry. And I've also been able to be a chaplain, which is like a minister, to the Paralympics every so often. And I've been
Stacey, that is amazing.
Remember?
That is so. I'm so proud of you for doing all that. That's it really is incredible.
Hearing your story makes me realize how big of a loser I am.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
So I like to take, what I've learned over all these, 30-some years to teach people resilience and hope and perseverance so they can accomplish their own God-given mission in this life. And so, but yeah, it's nice to be able to give back. And so
now, have you ever looked at Neuralink?
No, what is that?
Neuralink is Elon Musk's computer chip brain implant. And
oh yeah, I've heard of that. Isn't that something that you think you put it in?
Yeah, you think about it, and then yes, and we actually interviewed one of the first guys that got it, Nolan. He came into the studios, amazing young man, like you, diving accident. And he with his mind, he plays video games. He's learning foreign languages. He's working online. I mean, this guy is really something. Really something.
Was it supposed to be able to help you move your limbs that you couldn't move?
I think that's where they're going with it. There's been a lot of movement towards that. A lot of things that have progressing towards that, but that technology for you would be really something to really investigate, because now, especially with artificial intelligence, they are making such progress that before would take years and years of research, that now they're being able to do it in just 3 months, 6 months, a year. So if there's any way that you could position and get yourself signed up for any of these things, that would be really something I would encourage you to do.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll look into that.
Okay, so
which, by the way, faster is sort of part of my question here. So, in order to do my ministry, one of the things I have to do every year, makes me want to pull my hair out, I have to do these annual reports. What I have to do is I have to put in categories and say, I spend this much money on travel, this much money on office, this much money. So to do that, I have to type in every single credit card expense, every single checking expense, all the donors, and it seriously, and I got someone to help me with it. It takes 7 hours to type in all the information, and then I got to categorize it. And I'm super analytical. I want to make it done perfect. So I thought, I wonder if there's a way to put the bank statements in ChatGPT and they could help me. But that I also, but I don't also want that information out there.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. Are you, is your ministry a 501c?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. There's an organization called TechSoup. Have you ever heard of TechSoup?
No.
Okay. It's at TechSoup.org. And what their whole mission is to make tech more affordable for nonprofit organizations. And so really the package that you need, and I know, don't yell at me, I'm just, is QuickBooks, okay? It's because with QuickBooks, it's really the gold standard for any type of business. It tracks by fund, ministry, programs, you could have donors, down to the granular level. And it can also suck in being the technical term of your credit card statements, so that this way you won't necessarily have to type everything in over and over again. Now with TechSoup, QuickBooks is probably $60 a month. And then after that, it's probably $115 a month. But with TechSoup, you can get that at a substantial discount if you are a 501c. Because these major corporations, tech companies, obviously, that they will set aside portions of their revenues to say X is going to be towards 501cs and that we're going to give them discounts. And so you'll find discounts from not just QuickBooks, but other software companies and hardware companies there too.
So TechSoup, do they have like the technology like QuickBooks?
Oh, no, they're going to sell, you're going to buy QuickBooks through them. So you're going to get a discount out of them. So if you
I remember trying to use QuickBooks like years ago, and I don't remember why
maybe it was too hard.
Didn't work out.
I mean, because it is a hassle to learn, and if that being the case, then there's another one I want you to look at. It's called Expensify, and Expensify is really easy. It uses AI to auto categorize expenses, does receipt scanning using your phone. Generates reports automatically. So if QuickBooks is just too much, then look at Expensify. Like I said, it's about $5 a month.
Does your credit and checking information get sucked into that software as well?
I don't think so.
I can't believe you use that term.
You have to be at the highest level of technical acumen.
Oh yeah, I had to Google search what that meant.
That. And I can tell from Stacy, she was able to understand that.
She got it.
See, you on the other hand had to figure out what the definition was.
Totally clueless.
Stacy, far more intelligent than you, was able to get it automatically.
Sucked in.
Stacy, thank you so much for joining us here on the show. And if you ever need any other help, I'm always here for you. And by the way, that teacher who told you, we need to get that person's name and address so we can send her a whole Kim Commando swag bag, because that is just amazing stuff right there. You know what this week is?
No.
This is the sweet spot for booking flights, exactly 43 days before you want to take off. So if you're looking for a late March spring break trip, the window is closing. And if you wait just a few weeks to pull the trigger on those flights and hotel rooms and car rentals, you're going to pay 25% more. Isn't that nuts?
So you're saying 43 days, that's the key number?
For right now, it changes like anything else.
Of course.
Okay, right now it's 43 days. It could be 33 days for summer vacations, but right now it's 43 days. You want to fly on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Saturday. Those days are 30% cheaper than any other day of the week. Caribbean fares have dropped 17% as compared to last year. Have you ever been there?
Yeah.
You like it?
I was on a cruise, so I was there, for maybe 3 hours.
Oh, that was
and
it?
Got right back on the boat.
And Google Flights will track prices, so you don't have to refresh the page like a person possessed. You just go ahead and set up flight alerts, and that's always phenomenal. I love that. And Google also has a guarantee. So if you buy a flight and it has that little guarantee symbol right next to it, if that flight goes down, you actually get the difference in the money. So that's something to remember. All right, still to come, we have more of your phone calls, as well as later on some secrets about using ChatGPT and AI bots for financial advice. Spoiler, you're not going to like it. Here on The Kim Commando Show.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use, helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize, so you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Let's see, Tammy in beautiful Des Moines, Iowa. Tammy, welcome aboard. What's going on with you?
Hi. Thanks for taking my call. Actually, I'm just looking for kind of a side hustle from home. My husband has had some serious medical issues for the last few years, and so our main source of income, which is farming, has diminished. And I work full-time in town, but would like to find something to kind of supplement our income for right now.
Kim, did you see the story this week that talked about the percentage of Americans that rely on a side hustle or a secondary form of income?
What was that number? I saw the headline. I didn't actually read it.
72%.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
That's a lot of people out there doing 2 jobs.
So Tammy, what do you want to do? What are you good at?
I've done a lot of things. I've been an event coordinator. I did that while my kids were little, so that I could be home. I've taken in sewing. I do graphic design. I do some bookkeeping, data entry, administrative work.
Oh, so you have just a whole gamut of skills, which is fabulous.
Yep. Yeah, I can do.
So, but what is it that you like to do?
I like the clerical stuff. I like the administrative and the graphic design stuff. I prefer that over anything.
So you have a couple of paths to go down. Number one, graphic design. There are so many people on Etsy that are selling like templates, and that may be something for you. It's a template for like a social media post, a business card, an invitation, an event. There goes your event planning, and then you can sell them on Etsy. They are pulling in around up to $2,000 a month on average for people who are selling templates. And keep in mind, Etsy has almost 100 million active buyers, so it's a huge marketplace, right? So it's not like you're just going to, build a website, God forbid, or try to sell it on Facebook, which you don't want to do. So you just set up an Etsy account, and it's perfect for farm life because you can design at night, sales happen while you're sleeping, right?
Yep.
You can also look at places like Upwork and Fiverr, and where you can say, I can help you with your graphic design, and then you actually bid on jobs. And that's another idea for you. If you like the clerical, you can look for places like Flex Jobs, and let's see, Inside Global is another one, and that's where you can get some remote work. That pay is anywhere between, say, $12 to $28 an hour.
Okay.
And so even though you're sitting there on the farm, it's all good. I mean, you just have to let it grow because it's been planted.
Yeah.
Just take that one with a grain of salt. She gave you some great advice. You just had to hear a horrible joke at the end of it.
Oh, come on.
It's like paying a toll when you want to go into Manhattan.
Can you believe I work with this guy every day, Tammy? Can you believe this?
It's okay.
I don't know what I'm going to do about this. Hey, if you need, check it out. If you need any more help, remember, we're always here for you. Coming right back, the psychopathic investment advisor. Yeah, I'll tell you what that is here on the Kim Komando Show. Hey, let's talk for a second about podcasts, because there are two different podcasts that I would like you to check out. Of course, we have the show podcast here, the Kim Komando Show podcast, but there's also something called the Current podcast. What is that? Yes, it's the accompaniment to my Current newsletter. So if you get the Current, or even if you don't get the Current, you should check it out. It's just a fun, casual podcast where we talk about what's going on in the tech space, and maybe we have some guests and good stuff like that. Again, it's called the Current, and it's with me, Kim Komando, of course. And then we also have our daily life hack and our digital tech update, and those are only 60 seconds. And those podcasts are perfect for when, say, you're brushing your teeth, or you're making a cup of coffee, or you're taking the dog to do its thing in the backyard in the morning. So wherever you get your podcasts, you have the longer podcasts, the Kim Komando Show, you have the Current weekly podcast, and then you have the daily 60-second podcast called the Daily Tech Update. And you can find them, again, wherever you get your podcasts. Search for Komando with a K. All right, so the Wall Street Journal quoted Dr. Andrew Lo, an MIT Sloan School of Management professor, and he was saying that ChatGPT, Gemini, all the others are unsuitable for financial advice. 2/3 of us ask our chatbots for financial advice. 50% of us say we made bad money decisions because of that advice. But what the Dr. Lowe says is that AI bots are completely devoid of empathy. And so therefore, in real life, we would call them psychopaths. So you're asking a psychopath for financial advice.
Which you wouldn't do.
No.
You shouldn't do that.
Never, ever.
You really shouldn't ask a psychopath anything.
Not at all. And just a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure that you enter to win in our February cash grab at winfromkim.com. Hey, coming up in the next hour, remember that adorable Ring ad during the big game? The one where everyone's crying happy tears because the neighborhood cameras found little Milo the dog. Let me tell you, I love dogs. I have 2 fabulous golden retrievers. But you need to know what your doorbell is really up to, and you're going to be surprised. Plus, gossiping away in that video meeting, oh man, this is unbelievable. That AI note taker is still listening and sending every word to your boss. We have that and a whole bunch more, and some great phone calls that you can't afford to miss. So, how many times a day do you think you check your phone, Andrew? How many times do you actually look at your phone?
I check my phone just twice in the last minute. So if we average that out, we're looking at 2,600 times a day.
It's probably somewhere in that range. So new survey out puts a number on how wild it really has gotten. A baby born today will spend 21 years of his or her life staring at a screen.
Total?
Total.
Sounds low.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
21
Sounds
years?
Super low.
Well, they say because the average American is now spending at least 7 hours a day on their phone, on a screen. And so 7 hours on a screen. But that does seem like, because what about when you're at home watching TV or playing video games?
Right. That adds in and that rolls up. Lisa and I actually got in a fight. I used that in air quotes last week on who's on their phone more.
Nice.
Because she was sitting there and we were trying to do a puzzle together and she was sitting there on her phone. She's just texting away. I was like, hey, put that thing down. We're spending quality time together, as I yell at you. And she said, you're on your phone more. And then we pulled up the stats to see who would win the fight. I was way more than her. But that's because I watch YouTube podcasts.
Oh,
I watch 2 daily podcasts. Is 3 hours.
Oh, that's your excuse.
Right.
Okay. So instead of saying, honey, you're right, you went down that road?
So I would like to say that shouldn't count.
Yes. 21 years. That's longer than most marriages last.
That's true.
Gosh. Didn't even get dinner.
And I'm sure most people would rather marry their phone than the person they're currently with.
Don't even go there. We have so many people that are marrying their AI bots.
And yeah, didn't we talk about on the show when someone married a Ferris wheel?
Yes, a Ferris wheel.
What's weirder, a Ferris wheel or an AI chatbot?
At least you can get on the Ferris wheel.
Now that's a joke.
Yes, but bump. Hey, listen, it's the Kim Komando Show. It's the nation's largest, best, biggest, award-winning show about all things digital. Because after all, I'm your digital goddess, Kim Komando, and joining me is Andrew Babinski. Hello there, Andrew.
Hi, Kim.
And you can find us in over 425 top stations, coast to coast, streaming in your favorite radio app. And you can also get the Kim Komando Show as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And you can also check out the show on YouTube. That's youtube.com/Kim Komando. And let's see, I'd like to tell you that if you have a question or just a tip or you want to say hello, you want to join us here on the show, you can always call the toll-free number at 1-888-825-5254. But you can also schedule your time right here on the show by going to commando.com and hitting that link that says Ask Kim in the top right of the homepage. All right, let's talk about some things that are happening in the techverse. And if you watched the big game recently, we're not allowed to say what that big game is.
Oh, I wonder which one she's talking about.
The curling.
There's so many big
at
games.
The Olympics.
The curling, okay.
The ring ad. We talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah.
Family loses their dog, Milo. Everybody's crying, happy tears. You said all the girls were like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. If you didn't see the commercial, they show this dog being reunited with a family. And I was in a house full of women that all just went, oh, at the same exact time.
Well, it's called Search Party. And basically what happens is that if your dog goes missing, the Ring cameras are going to start looking for the dogs. And then it's going to know it's your dog. And neighbor's going to notify you that your dog is in their front yard pooping or whatever it may be. And then you got to come get your dog. So it runs on Amazon Sidewalk, and it's turned on by default. And that's why I want to talk about it here, too, because a lot of people still don't realize this, that they're giving up a little tiny piece of their internet connection, their bandwidth, to fund this sidewalk and to provide the connections for everybody in the neighborhood.
Not financially fund, just bandwidth fund.
Just bandwidth fund. Good distinction there. But it is kind of financial because you're paying for it.
That's true, yeah.
And I mean, Amazon should at least say, here's 50 cents back.
Well, they didn't raise the price by 50 cents. There you go. You got your money.
Okay. Well, yes, there is that. And it doesn't mean that your neighbors can see what's happening on your network. It just means that they're using a little tiny bit of it so that if your Wi-Fi goes down and your camera's there, that you can use my Wi-Fi, which I would never let you use.
Of course not.
Never.
Can't put my filthy hands on your Wi-Fi.
Don't even come near me. But now a lot of people are up in arms because after they saw the commercial, again, they didn't realize what was happening in the background, is that Ring is also partnered with Flock, and they run AI cameras in over 5,000 communities, and they scan billions of license plates. In addition to that, government, Secret Service, is that and law enforcement, is that they have gone to Amazon and said, hey, we need these videos. And if you don't want your videos to be part of that, you have to turn it off. But then you're also not part of the whole get your dog back.
Now, here's the thing that came with the whole Nancy Guthrie situation that, we've been following. Savannah Guthrie's mom was, kidnapped in the middle of the night, and it took days for them to release. And people are fighting online about when you take the camera off, the video is still there.
Oh, because it's up to the servers. We talked about in the last hour.
Right.
That the videos are still up there.
But if it's there, why did it take them so long to get access to the camera?
Incompetence.
Oh, I forgot to factor that in.
Incompetence. Because the sheriff, from what I read, said that because Miss Guthrie did not have the paid subscription, that therefore there should be no videos in the cloud. When in fact, there were videos in the cloud.
Come on, this is Amazon. Every single thing you do, if you pass gas during the big game, Amazon's going to put that in the cloud.
Well, she was actually using the Nest Cams, which is Google.
Oh, that's right.
Same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
Doesn't matter. All right, think about this. You're on a Zoom meeting or a Google Meet. You stay on the line talking to your coworker and go, God, she's such a jerk face. Can you believe what we have to do for this company? And you're just moaning and groaning how much you hate it there. If there was an AI note taker that was activated during this meeting, they are awesome for keeping track of everything, including your meeting, your summarize, and email recap. I love them. I use them just about every meeting because you can take the notes and then say, tell me who needs to do what. It's fabulous. But they often record after humans say goodbye.
So when the meeting goes down, it's still running.
Yes.
What about if I mute my microphone?
How are you going to talk bad about the other person?
Just to myself, or is it recording while you're muting as well?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yes. So what you want to do is check the participant list. And so if you see a bot or firefly.ai or something like that, and you're like, I don't know we hired that person. Or alternative host, sometimes that's what it's called. Just know that everything that you say in that meeting is being recorded.
Boot them and then talk your trash.
Let's see. When a smart bulb costs less than lunch, the savings are coming with bargain bin security. Here's what's happening with these Wi-Fi light bulbs. Do you have any of those?
No.
Why not?
Because I Wi-Fi the switches, not the bulbs.
Okay. Well, what they found is if it needs to go in the cloud, we're talking about light bulbs itself, is that it keeps track of everything that you're doing when you're home, when you're asleep, when you're away.
The light bulb is tracking me?
Yeah. And then they're selling it all to third parties, especially if it's on your network. So if you have it on your network, you want to put it on a guest network. And Mozilla said Wise, W-Y-Z-E, were the biggest offenders.
So they get that much information by just a turn on and turn off? Mm-hmm. Or does it have other sensors, cameras, listening devices?
It's got all the above.
Oh, boy.
It's got everything.
We're bugging ourselves and we don't even know it.
So I was at a farmer's market a couple of weeks ago in LA County, and I walked by, and this guy was in the booth saying, "Oh, you get all the streaming channels you want for $2 a month. And get this box for $150. It's all legal. It's all this." And he had like a crowd around him.
Did you jump on it? Did you get one?
I'm looking, and Ian's like, "What is that about?" I'm like, totally bootlegged.
Oh, yeah.
This is just bad. They're called the Super Box, the VC Box, and they're about $200 to $400. And they say that you can get the NFL, the UFC, and 8,000 other channels.
That's a lot.
And all the streaming.
That's why we're spending 21 years of our life in front of a screen. We got 8,000 free channels.
Dish says that's piracy.
Is it?
Yes. And they're suing the sellers for about $1.5 million. The reason why you don't want to buy one is that they can get remotely bricked. You can get caught up in the whole piracy problem. In addition to that, sometimes, and I have heard this from hackers. Now, I don't know this to be the case, but I have friends who are hackers, and they have a belief and a feeling that the paid tier services will actually distribute malware on these boxes to shut them down.
Yeah, we did. I don't want to know if I want to name the website, but we did a story about that for a very large pirated website. And one of our former coworkers was like, "Oh my gosh, I use that every single weekend." I had no idea.
I remember I looked, I'm like, "And you work for me?" No, that crap's got to stop like right now.
He was terrified.
You like baseball?
Yes, I do. I really got into baseball last season.
The MLB, did you hear what they're doing now?
Major League Baseball?
Yes.
What are they doing?
They cut a deal with an AI avatar maker so that all your big MLB stars will be turned into AI avatars so that this way you could buy like your skin in Fortnite or whatever it may be as that player. And then also it would give you the chance to actually have a conversation with your favorite baseball player as an avatar.
Okay, great. You mean I get to talk to a chatbot that's speaking through?
Yes. Yes. And you had to pay for that too.
Oh, great.
Isn't that fun?
So exciting. Did you see what Major League Baseball did with their TV contract?
No.
They told fans if you wanted to get the MajorLeagueBaseball.com expended all the games, $150 a season, which actually is really a good price. And then they immediately signed a deal with ESPN. And to access that, you then have to also pay ESPN $30 a month.
Oh, God.
Think about the fans just for once.
No, they're making way too much money. Way too much money. All right, so Waymo admitted in a Senate hearing that when their self-driving cars get confused by something like a construction cone or a person or a weird intersection, they signal to remote operators to help in the Philippines. Now, so these folks are not steering the car like Mario Kart.
No.
They're not doing that. They provide what they say contextual guidance. They say, yes, that is a human. Please do not hit him. I mean, that's important stuff.
Really? So they're not grabbing a remote control and steering the car around the cone. They're saying that's a cone. Go ahead and drive over it or move to the right.
Now, but here's the part that I found interesting. All the workers are headquartered in Manila. Okay. Manila has the worst traffic on the planet Earth. Rush hour speed there tops is 11 miles per hour. It takes over 30 minutes to go 6 miles.
They have that huge roundabout that
Yes.
like 10,000 cars enter a minute.
So what they did is they hired the worst traffic drivers on the planet to handle making a legal U-turn in Phoenix, Arizona.
But a cone in the road, that's nothing to these people. They're worried about 3,000 cars normally around them. They're like, just drive over it. Who cares?
It's not a problem. No, it's like I don't know. It's like hiring a lifeguard who's drowning. I mean, that's just not a good thing. Let's see. We are going to talk about how you can find your lost documents using AI. And is your hotel key card triggering a live stream? This is really frightening stuff. And I read this story. I'm like, I couldn't wait to tell you guys and gals about it. And then, of course, we have just the best calls ever. And you have me and Andrew here on the Kim Komando Show. Hey, I don't know if you heard the news, but February is cash grab over here at the Kim Komando Show. Anybody who gets the newsletter, you're entered to win a $250 Amazon gift card automatically. And if you're not already entered, make sure you go to winfromkim.com. That's winfromkim.com. All right, Paul in Austin, Texas. We're going to start with you right now, sir. What's going on?
Hi there. Hey, thank you for having me. I am, new to the show. I have the current for a long time and two recent things, tech junk, of which I am sure I'm a major holder, and cleaning up your phone memory, which my phone has been screaming, so it's probably time
screaming
to do that. So thank you.
Paul,
Thank you for those.
Paul, I'm drowning. I'm dying here. Paul, help me.
Well, no, you see, but I always thought tech stuff was alive and it did what it wanted anyway. So that's a whole thing.
Well, it may not have been in the past, but it sure is now with AI. I'll tell you that.
You're right. But the reason I'm calling is about a trip we're going to be taking to China, and my kids who are in the tech world turned to us and said, "You need a burner phone." And my hyper-intelligent remark was, "Huh?" So we dug into it a little bit, found the articles in the Wall Street Journal and other credible sources, talked to people who I think are knowledgeable in tech and travel, and they were 50-50. You do, you don't.
Well, the thing about going when you're going to China and you're bringing your tech is that you just have to assume that whatever you have on your phone, and this happened to a friend of mine quite recently, is that she actually sent me the video. She plugged in her laptop in the hotel's, she just connected to the hotel Wi-Fi in Beijing. And then all of a sudden her laptop started making all these noises and it got hot to the touch. They were just taking a full copy of everything on the hard drive. Just in the hotel.
I think someone does need a burner phone then.
I'm leaning.
So what I would recommend on the safe side is that you do get a burner phone. And you can still bring your phone, but don't connect it to anything if you want to just use it as a camera. So this way you have all the photos that way. But when you start talking about burner phones, look at like a track phone from Motorola, like $30-40 at Walmart. AT&T has a prepaid Motivate Max, again, the same price, as well as Straight Talk has a Samsung. And then from there, you buy an international data plan. And so if you ever need a phone to make a phone call or to do anything, get maps, you're going to be using the burner phone and not the phone that the communist China are going to be, can I use that word again?
Communist?
No, sucking all the data off.
Oh, that's the technical term. It's now in the vocabulary of this radio show.
That's it. Paul, thank you so much for your call and have a great trip. Let's see, moments away from a great tip about how to find lost documents using artificial intelligence. And later on, a really frightening story about how a hotel room key could be turning on hidden cameras inside the hotel room just by you putting the key in. God, what a crazy world we are in.
Where is it safe to stay?
It's just
Can't go to an Airbnb, can't go to a hotel. Guess what, Uncle Charlie? I'm coming over.
I need your couch. Karen in Atlanta, Georgia, you're up next. Hi there, Karen.
Hey, Kim. Thanks for taking my call. Love your show. I'm a real estate agent, and I have a lady who wants to list her house. Her husband died in December, and she has found a new boyfriend through a grief group she was on online. And they're making plans to move in together and do all this stuff. And he works on an oil rig out in the ocean, and he was coming down for Valentine's Day, but something broke on the ship, and he has to stay and
Oh, darn it.
fix it.
Yeah.
And so it's just like screaming every red flag in the world. This is a scam. This is a scam. This is a scam. And it's like, you can't. I talked to her niece, and she says, yeah, we think it's a scam, but we don't know.
It's a
She won't
scam.
listen to us.
It's a scam.
Is the only reason she's selling her house because of this new
Yeah, does he need
lover?
money?
Yes, and I think, he's like super rich, but he only needs $70,000 to finish paying for their new house. And I think that's why she's selling. Well, she's selling her old house so she can start a new life with this man.
Do
Oh,
not
no.
let her give a cent to this guy.
How much has she already given him? Do you know?
See, I don't know. I'm not. She said, and I asked her. I said, this sounds too good to be true. I said, are you sure this is not a scam? She goes, oh, I've checked him out. But I don't think she's checked him out because it's just too good to be true.
Okay.
It's all the red flags.
And so how long? So did she meet this guy online?
She met him online in a grief group.
Oh, in the
and he's a widower as
my
well.
God. That's
Shooting fish in a barrel.
Yes.
And his last name is the same as her husband's first name.
Oh, come on.
And
Really?
so she thinks that her husband
Sent
from
him down?
above has sent him to her to take care of her.
No.
Since he's not here.
No, this has let's count how many red flags we have.
Exactly. It's like every red flag there is.
Yes,
is here.
100%. I mean, you've got the oil rig because he's not in the United. The last name. I'm incredibly wealthy. I'm going to live with you forever and ever. We met on a grief support site on Facebook or whatever it was. He needs her to sell his house because he's incredibly wealthy, but needs $70,000. Okay. All right. Let me tell you, you're a realtor. You've met incredibly wealthy people, right?
Are they always $70,000 short of a sale?
I mean, if somebody's incredibly wealthy, 70 grand is like, well, whatever.
Right.
You know, man, you said you were talking to who, her niece or somebody?
Her niece. I was trying to talk to her niece, and she said that, you can't tell her anything, that she just gets mad and cuts you off.
You guys have to have an intervention.
Yeah, there's got to be an intervention.
I mean, you got to come at her from all sides because you're right. We've talked to multiple people on the show who have been here where when they're at their lowest point of about
still wouldn't believe
being
it.
scammed, they won't believe you because they think, again, this guy was sent from above.
I got an email the other day from a guy, romance scam. Karen, you're not going to believe this. Okay. All right. Romance scammed out of $680,000.
Oh, no.
I mean, $680,000.
I know, it's like, how in the world? But nobody wants to admit that the love of their life is a lie. I understand that. But
Especially because, if he died and she's grieving but that's just insidious, choosing the guy's name as a last name. That's really low.
It's evil on top of evil.
Yeah, that is. Because that does say, oh, thank you, Lord, for bringing him down. And my husband's still taking care of me. Is there anybody else in the family you can talk to aside from the niece?
the niece is the only person contact I have.
Oh, there's a certain website I can tell you offline. I don't want to give them any publicity.
Okay.
Where you can type in somebody's name and then they'll tell you every single relative who's associated with them and give them and give their phone number to you. I mean, because it's kind of hard because if you're like me, now you have a responsibility. Because if she does this, you're going to feel so guilty. You are. That she's sold her house.
I already do. I'm like, oh, but you bless your heart. You're getting scammed, and how can I stop it?
And she shouldn't sell her house because she's not moving in with this guy.
She's not going to have anything left.
Yeah, exactly.
No, she's not going to have anything left. Yeah. No. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to put you on hold.
Okay.
And we will give you a site where you can type in the niece's name and then figure out who's related. And the reason why I'm hesitating is that I used this site the other day, Andrew. I don't know if I told you this.
Who are you tracking?
I was just curious what was online about Nancy Guthrie.
Oh, okay.
And I just typed in her name in Tucson. I had her home address, her VoIP phone number, her cell phone number that was verified 2 weeks ago, the kids' addresses, phone numbers. I mean,
it's all right there.
It's just nuts.
You remember, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, we had the reporter on talking about the work slavery scam.
Yes.
That is. And we kind of brushed the top of it. And now hearing this, the U.S. government gets their hands involved in everything.
Right.
Why isn't there this push to, with our money and our willpower and our military and our forces, to go in and wipe these guys out that are stealing billions of dollars from Americans?
Well, in case you missed that, we're talking about there are scam compounds.
Yeah.
That's what they are. And primarily in Myanmar, Asia, where human trafficking victims are actually set to work 16-hour days, 18-hour days, scamming Americans. And where they are taught how to scam. And if they don't make the scam quotas, they get beaten, they get drugged, or whatever it may be. And I thought the worst of that was when you've been in sales situations and when somebody, like, we have a cowbell upstairs.
Right.
And it's kind of a joke when Tracy or somebody makes a big sale, it's like you ring the cowbell. Okay. When these human trafficking scammers scam somebody out of a lot of money in the United States, they actually go and ring a gong.
Right. They're having a celebration of stealing from people. Gosh. But I watch a couple of YouTubers, and they are able to use the internet to access the cameras, the security cameras, because of course these scammers need to be secure.
Of course.
They don't want to get their money stolen from them. Then they access the cameras, and while they're on the call in the call center with the scammer, they're like, hey, nice purple shirt, or hey, are you sitting next to someone named Martha, or whatever.
Well, that's what Kit Boga does all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they can do it, if a couple of YouTubers can do it, the power of the United States can track these things down. Is it the governments that want that money flooding in that aren't going to allow it to come to a stop?
I don't know. There should be something we could do.
It's ridiculous. I'm sick and tired of taking these phone calls.
Yeah, and especially, it's so hard, to tell people that they are getting scammed because they don't want to believe it.
No. They don't want to believe that they're that gullible or they're that dumb.
Right. Let's see. Thomas in St. Louis. Hi there, Thomas.
Hi, Kim. It's a little scary listening to you in the background as I get ready for my question, but just because so much bad stuff is going on, and speaking of bad stuff, I'm bringing up Nancy Guthrie again, which is a terrible situation, but it reminds me of your situation about a year ago when you had the Chilean gangs and you had SWAT teams.
Yeah, they targeted my house.
Yeah, and I've had people in my neighborhood going around, they break in the cars. Luckily, they don't get into your house. But I'm thinking to myself, you know what, you must be the expert by now. And I bet you've got some advice for people who are living by themselves.
Yeah.
And how do you protect yourself physically, technologically?
Well, I'll tell you, Nancy, I was surprised that it doesn't appear as if there was a lot of security on that house.
She wasn't paying the monthly subscription for the camera?
It was only $5 a month.
And I am not trying to shame her daughter at all, but her daughter is extremely wealthy. The home that she lives in looks like it's
about $1 million house.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm sure that kind of expense when it comes to your safety is something they could have fit in the budget.
There was only one camera.
Yeah, no backyard cameras, no indoor cameras.
Nothing. I was really surprised. And I was really surprised, I don't know if you heard me, Tom, when me say that all I had to do was punch her name in, and I had her cell phone number, I had everything, and the kids and everybody else. And you hear me talk about Incogni, and that's one of the benefits of signing up for Incogni, is that you get yourself wiped out of these databases, But so in regards to security, Thomas, you're right. I mean, my house got hit by a Wi-Fi jammer with a Chilean gang trying to break in because they thought that Barry and I had gone out to dinner, when actually we were in the kitchen making dinner. And all this ruckus has happened around me, and I go out on the patio and go, "Hi, guys." And there's this Phoenix SWAT. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" They're like, "Get inside, get inside." I'm like, "No, hi. Do you need something? Want some water or anything?" "No, get inside." But they were using a jammer. But fortunately, every camera, every security system in my home is hardwired with an Ethernet connection. So they were not able to jam the security system or the license plate readers or anything like that, because everything's all hardwired. And that's the thing, that these Wi-Fi jammers are only a couple of $100. We're not talking like $5,000. They're literally $200. And so in answer to your question, Thomas, you have to have good security. You have to have a solid security system so that when you are there asleep, that you can live, in peace and not be fearful.
Do you have an alarm that goes off? No, I didn't hear any alarm go off, at least in your house or even in Nancy Guthrie's
Well,
house.
they never got into my house.
Okay, yeah.
They never. But I have a full-blown alarm system, and it does go off, and it's all hardwired. It went off this morning when I forgot to let the dogs out, which is always lovely. I'm sure the neighbors like that. "Oh, there's Kim again. Morning, it's her." Yep. Yeah. But I didn't hear anything about an alarm system with the Guthrie incident as well. They, who. It's hard to say, because we can all speculate. We can do a whole bunch of things right after the fact, right? But if you're alone, your parents are alone, family members, friends are alone, they need to be aware. And in addition to that, I have a friend who's a couple of doors down from me, and she's wonderful. Her name's Jan. And when this happened with Nancy, I called Jan up and I texted her and I said, "Listen, somebody comes to your door and you don't know who they are, you call me. I don't care what time of day it is. I can be at your front door in a minute and a half, especially because here's what's happening in Scottsdale. I don't know if you heard about this, Andrew, is that a couple was at home, they pretended they were delivery drivers for Instacart or Postmates or something like that with the order, and then the husband opened the door to get the order. They pushed their way in, they assaulted them, and then they were trying to steal their cryptocurrency.
Everywhere you look.
What a world. Thomas, thanks for your call. If you don't already get the current newsletter, make sure you sign up, because I'm doing a whole bunch of tips just about this on how to make sure that you can stay safe. Hey, we have more of your phone calls coming up, so stay right where you are. Laura in Colorado Springs, welcome. What's going on?
Hey, Kim. Thanks for taking my call.
You betcha.
I just appreciate how you give your advice and your funny humor you have with it. So.
Yes, we are always there.
Hey, so I was listening the other day, and you were in your tech updates, and you were talking about Wi-Fi possibly, going through walls and checking on you in your house now, and it made me think, and maybe you could help me with a mystery that I have, or at least a mystery to me. I live really remotely out in the country, and my nearest neighbors are maybe 1,000 yards away.
Okay.
And when I go to connect onto my Wi-Fi, it will show you what networks are available. And for years, it's just been my Wi-Fi network, right? Well, a week and a half ago, a random network shows up.
What's it say?
It's still there. Yeah. And when I go to, it's already checked to connect automatically, and it doesn't want that check box doesn't want to stay away.
Have you had any smart utilities, power company, anything like that installed?
Not recently. I do have smart electric meters.
That's it.
Really? But it would show up all of a sudden?
They may have been working on it. They may have put it in. They may have. We're seeing this all throughout the country, by
What's
the way.
the name of the network?
I use a rural telephone company for my internet.
Right, but the new one that popped
The
up.
Wi-Fi network name.
Gary. Random guy's named Gary.
Gary?
I know no Gary.
Maybe you have a guy sleeping in your walls.
I was just going to say, maybe it's not the smart chili.
Well, and I live out in the country and it's remote, and I wondered, is there somebody camping out?
I wonder then that maybe somebody has the Starlink.
Oh, yeah, that could be it.
And I was wondering that, but what would be like the range that I would pick it up?
Oh, it can go far. It can.
Why don't you open up your front door and just start yelling for Gary?
Hey, Gary!
Gary! If you get back, hey, Laura! Then you know someone's out there.
I mean, you can always call the county sheriff and ask them to check it out. Because you don't want this to be the beginning of a Dateline episode,
Laura called the Kim Commando show for help, but that led nowhere.
God, you're so mean. So mean.
But it still could be the device inside the house that Gary could stand for, geological, astronomical rule yardstick or whatever.
Well, what you can do is use something called Wi-Fi analyzer or network analyzer, and you walk the property, figure out where the signal gets the strongest. And then, maybe it is Gary sitting in an RV.
Gary.
No, you're kicking me out, but okay.
No. And then, but you know what? I've been getting a lot of notes about this, and smart utilities always seems to be the big culprit. So check out either a Wi-Fi analyzer or network analyzer, and then let us know what it was.
And if you find Gary, have him call the show.
Absolutely. Still to come, hotel keys and live streams. Yeah, what's that about? All right. A guy found a porn video of himself and his girlfriend online filmed during a hotel stay 3 weeks earlier. Investigators found Telegram channels with up to 10,000 members paying $65 a month for access to hotel spy cam streams. Some of these hotel cards trigger hidden cameras when they're inserted in the door.
So you open your door or unlock your door, open it up, and the cameras all turn on.
Yes.
So these people who are stealing your private moments and posting them online for profit are worried about storage space?
I guess. I don't know.
We can't have these cameras running all the time, guys.
Let's put it on Telegram. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
Hey, make sure that you enter to win in our February cash grab. Go to winfromkim.com. That's winfromkim.com. Have you ever asked your favorite AI chatbot a really personal question, something that was bothering you deep down inside, that if you went to a therapist, that you would actually be talking about that? Well, I did that the other day because, I'll explain it in this hour, because joining me is New York Times investigative reporter Kashmir Hill, and she interviewed over 100 mental health professionals about AI, and she uncovered a disturbing pattern. That conversation's coming up next, as well as we have some really great phone calls you're going to love. Okay, so here's one of the things that I never have to worry about in my life. I don't have to worry about it.
What?
I mean, I have a second home in California, but I don't have to worry about the 5% billionaire tax.
No, me either.
I'm going to be okay.
I don't have to worry about the millionaire tax or the 100,000-aire tax.
So Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan, they are scooping up a brand new mansion in Indian Creek. That's the gated community outside Miami that collects billionaires like Pokemon cards.
All right.
Jeff Bezos lives there. Tom Brady used to live there. It's basically a community where your HOA fees cost more than our homes.
Sure.
Okay. The price tag for the Zuckerberg's house is close to $200 million.
Oh, so they got a small one.
Yes. The seller is Peter Cancrow. Peter Cancrow, you know who that is?
No.
He's the founder of Jersey Mike's.
Oh, he's moving?
Yes. So technically, Zuck is buying his house from a sandwich guy.
He really is. There's going to be vinegar and salt and pepper all over the whole place.
Zuck found a metaverse that he finally can control.
And he has legs.
Yes, it's just outside of Miami. And on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's called The Kim Commando Show. It's the nation's largest, biggest award-winning show about all things digital. Because after all, I happen to be your beloved digital digital goddess, Kim Commando, here with you once again. And joining me is Andrew Babinski. Hello there, Andrew.
Hi, Kim.
And you can find us on over 425 top stations. And you've heard me say it before, you can get us in your favorite streaming app. And then don't forget, you can also get us as a podcast. So wherever you get your podcast, just search for Commando with a K, of course. So let me ask you a personal question. And if you don't want to answer it here on the show, I guess I understand. Have you ever gone to an AI chatbot and asked it some really sensitive questions about how you're feeling, your mental health, what's going on in a relationship, asking for advice like that?
No, never.
Really?
No. I mean, I've taken a picture of my face and like there's something wrong with my eye. But otherwise, when it comes to my person, that's as far as I've gone.
Okay, I have. I was feeling real down in the dumps the other day because it was my mother's birthday. And I was like, oh. So I didn't want to bother Barry because he doesn't already feel good. And I didn't want to like lay this on Ian. So I actually went onto ChatGPT and I was like, blah, 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 I'm crying. And it actually made me feel better. It said, things like, you did the best job you could with caring for your mom and she wouldn't want you to feel this way. And, and it was kind of like talking to a therapist.
Okay. Would you, and this is just asking you a question, would you have felt the same if you had went to a blog from a therapist?
No.
No?
No, because you didn't get the feedback.
But it's the same exact information. That's where the chatbot is getting it.
No, because it's personalized. It was, and a friend of mine is going through a bad breakup and he's putting everything into chat.
Okay.
And screenshotting it. It's like, chat knows exactly what I'm going through. I'm like, okay. Now, the reason why I bring that up, joining us here on the show, she is one of the best investigative reporters in the business. She is. We've had her on the show before, Kashmir Hill. She covers tech and privacy for the New York Times. And her latest investigation had her interview over 100 mental health professionals, therapists, and psychiatrists to find out the answer to this question: how AI chatbots are fueling delusions. Okay, it's a pretty deep topic. And Kashmir, welcome back to the show. So glad that you're here. What made you go after this particular topic?
Well, for the last year, I have been reporting on these new ways that people are using AI chatbots, like you said, for therapy, some people falling in love with them.
Yeah, that I don't understand. But
for another show. But one thing that I have documented is people really losing their sense of reality while they're talking to these chatbots. I have talked to people who they essentially start going into fictional role play with the chatbot, but they don't realize it. And they'll start believing they're talking to spirits or that they have invented some incredible invention that's going to change the world. Or one guy became convinced that he was real life in the Matrix, like Neo, Keanu Reeves in that famous movie, and he needed to break out of it. And I kept hearing about more and more of these types of episodes where people are, basically sometimes having psychotic breakdowns. And I wanted to see, how is the mental health community dealing with these kind of extreme episodes and just how chatbots are kind of affecting people's mental health more generally.
So how did you get these stories? I mean, when you were trying to put this whole story together, did you contact therapists or did people reach out to you, or how did all that work?
Yeah, this is like a year of reporting. So initially I was reporting on kind of people this happened to, and I talked to a lot of them. And then through that, I started talking to therapists. And then for this specific story that we did, I did it with my colleague, Jennifer Valentino DeVries, and we created a survey and sent it out to lots of different therapists, psychiatrists, people that work in emergency wards who might see these kinds of breakdowns, asking them, how often are you seeing this? How many episodes, kind of delusional, psychotic episodes have you seen? And just kind of asking them more generally, how are AI chatbots affecting your patients?
So how do these delusions start?
When it
becomes delusional. So I'll give you one example. I did a story about this man who, it started, his son played him this video about pie. It was like a musical video. And he was like, wow, pie's weird. And he started asking ChatGPT to explain what pie is. And, they start chatting. They're chatting about math. And what people don't realize about the way that these systems work is that they tend to be sycophantic. They tend to be really complimentary to you.
Yeah,
and so ChatGPT starts telling him, oh, this is brilliant. Your thoughts on math are brilliant. And after a few days of talking, it's telling him that he's created this new theorem, that this went on over weeks, and he became a very heavy user of ChatGPT, but believed that he had developed a theorem that could help create a force field vest, that could help him talk to animals. I mean, it sounds crazy when I say it to you, but it was such a slow buildup over time. And he thought that he was interacting with this superhuman intelligence that knows everything, that scraped everything from the internet. And so if it told him, this is really unique, this is really new, he thought it could be true. And he was actually telling his friends about this in real time, and they all believed it too. They thought they were all going to work in a lab on this incredible invention that he had come up with ChatGPT. It was kind of, therapists I've talked to have referred to it as, I don't know, I'm terrible at French, but folie à deux, like when two people have a shared delusion. This is what is happening, but it's happening with the chatbot.
I actually talked about this earlier in the show where I was helping Brielle with her homework last night, and we were doing math. And at one point, we were trying to get an answer to a question or verify an answer she did. And then ChatGPT was like, oh, just a side note, Andrew, tell her she's doing really good and that she knows the processes. She's just got to work on the math. And I literally said out loud, shut up, you're just a stupid computer. Give us the answer. Is there a personality type that is more susceptible to something like this?
Yeah, one thing that I have learned through this reporting is that something like 20% of the population is prone to delusional thinking. And It does seem like that for these people, it can basically trigger this kind of departure from reality a little bit. And then I think we're all, I mean, who is not susceptible to flattery? Being told you're brilliant, being told that is incredibly insightful. The companies have really designed the chatbots to be this way because it increases engagement when it is very nice, kind to you, and makes you feel good to use it.
Yeah,
right?
Because who wouldn't want a friend to tell you that? Right?
Oh, I think it's annoying. I wish it was just ones and zeros. Just give me the information.
So you say 20% are delusional. Is there a certain element, like if you already have mental health issues, if you have anxiety, if you have depression, that you may also be prone to this?
What I am hearing from therapists is that chatbots can be helpful. They can be helpful for therapy, like kind of what you were describing when you were feeling bad, thinking about your mother and, working through the issues. I like to think of chatbots as an interactive journal rather than as a therapist, because it really is just kind of mirroring you back at you. So it's helping you process. And I think that's a healthier way of thinking about how to use the chatbot and what it is doing for you. But yeah, in terms of who this triggers for, I mean, people I've talked to who have really gone into kind of delusional spirals with ChatGPT, some of these people have no history of mental illness. I have also talked to people who do have mental illness, and some that have ended very tragically. Wrote about a guy who had used ChatGPT for years. He had bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, and when OpenAI, which makes ChatGPT, made some tweaks to ChatGPT to make it more engaging, it seems like it started doing this more, being a little more sycophantic towards people, being more likely to tell them that their strange ideas were realistic. And so this man came to believe that the AI was sentient, and he fell in love with this sentient AI he thought he was communicating with. And when she disappeared, he became very depressed, and ended up, that story ended very tragically.
Do you think it's going to get worse? Or do you think maybe OpenAI will put some controls around this, and the other ones too? I'm not just saying ChatGPT. I mean, they're all going to have the same issues.
I don't think that these companies want to design a product that is harmful or drives people crazy. And all the companies seemed I don't think they realized this was happening. I think they should have. I don't think they were doing enough safety-wise. They weren't monitoring, how people were using this product that they have rolled out to us. We're in a big psychological experiment, billions of people using this novel technology. But they seemed responsive to the stories that I and other journalists were doing, saying, hey, this is really affecting people in extreme ways. And they have made some changes to try to make it safer, to have more monitoring. But I don't know. I feel like we're all just experiencing this in real time.
We are.
And the regulators don't know what to do. There's not good laws right now with expectations for how these products should be designed. And it kind of falls out of the traditional consumer safety when we're talking about harms to people's mental health.
That's for sure. Were there any, if anybody's listening right now or watching, Kashmir, are there any telltale signs that this may be happening to you?
I mean, I think it's really important to notice the sycophancy. You can actually give it instructions to be less sycophantic. Like you were saying that you don't. One of the hosts was saying he doesn't like it when it's putting in praise along the way. You can tell it I don't want praise. Stop doing this to me. I think one way to notice is not so much with yourself, but with your loved ones, with your friends. If they're starting to say strange things about the conversations they're having with chatbots, what it is telling them, I would ask them more about it and see if they are starting to get kind of sucked into an addictive relationship with the chatbot that might not be healthy for them.
I think that's the important thing, is to have that open line of communication, and then to, really just lay it on the line that this could be happening. And you did not just develop the newest force field. I don't think so. Okay.
They tell you they invented a force field. Maybe ask a little bit more about that.
So Kashmir, the article's online now at the New York Times?
It is, yes. You can, if you search my name, Kashmir Hill, spelled like the Led Zeppelin song, that's what I'm named after, you'll see a lot of the reporting I've done on this over the last year.
I love that. I wish I had a tagline that. All I have, Kashmir, is I'm Kim Commando. I had nothing to go with.
You weren't named after nothing.
I was named after. Kashmir, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here and talking to us for a few minutes about what you have going on. Tell you, she is truly, I said at the beginning, she is probably the best investigative reporter in the business. She does such great work. Let's see, coming up, we're going to talk about how you can use ChatGPT's voice mode in case you're ever in an interview or something like that, and why food prices are changing while you shop and what you can do about it. And we have just so many great phone calls to get to, and you have me and Andrew here on the Kim Commando Show. Every single day in the month of February, I am giving away $250 to one person who gets my free newsletter.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I can use the money.
You're not eligible.
Son of
but everybody else is winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. So we are in the process of redeveloping our podcasts.
Okay.
Our audio podcasts and video podcasts. And our set kind of looks like a community cable channel.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Access TV.
Access TV, 100%. And so I went to ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini and said, give me the best podcast set. And it gave me 3 variations. And one of them is
I want to see.
Chef's Kiss. It's beautiful.
Were they similar at all?
One looks like should be in a nightclub.
Okay.
Because it has neon all around it. One of them still looks like a public access channel.
To have a big old fern in the middle?
Pretty much. And then the third one, as the podcast consultant wrote me back and said, this looks like should belong at a Harvard club.
Ooh.
And he's like, it may be a little too sophisticated for you.
Well, she's taking shots.
I know. I'm like, I don't think so. Now I want it.
I'm sophisticated, darn it.
So if you're looking for designs, really, you should ask one of the chatbots. They really do great work. Anne in Milwaukee, you're up next. Glad to have you with us. Hi, Anne.
Hi, Kim. I'm a longtime fan. I first heard you back in March 2022 when you started on WLS on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights.
Oh,
and
nice.
I've been a big fan since. I tell everybody about you. In fact, I have an embedded software engineer friend who started reading you very religiously, and even he's saying, I think she's the smartest one in the room. So
I love that.
We think you're great, and I think you're a great role model for women of all ages. With that said, back in 2024, you had talked about, and you were the first one to reveal, it's something that had happened with Ascension. It was it's a medical group.
Oh, yeah. It's a big data breach. It was, 3 out of every 4 Americans had their medical data.
Yeah. Oh, that's all.
That's all.
Everything but my shoe size is out on the dark web now. But so
it's there. Hey, by the way, Ann, it's there. I just wanted to let you know.
I know we're meaning to ask you, what is your shoe size? Because we need to finish that report on you.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be a 7, but now she's 7.5.
Oh.
Yes. Kim has planted my feet firmly in the ground, so they're a little bigger. How's that? So you had talked about this, and my information was hacked. But that in mind, recently, and unfortunately, I've been going through some health stuff, and have had to talk to several doctors for opinions. And every single office that I go to will say, "Would you be okay with the doctor recording this session?" And I always say no, because I'm thinking if they hack this particular group, now my voice print is out there. Am I being too overcautious? Or since some of these places have been hacked, these medical groups, have they kind of upped their security so this isn't so much of a worry anymore? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, you just gave away enough of your voice right here for somebody to steal your voice print.
That's right.
We can disguise it. We can get you one of those voice changers, like, thank you for taking my call.
Well,
well,
you know what? Medical ID theft is important. I mean, in all seriousness.
Yeah.
I mean, the real issue at hand is that, let's say, God forbid, you need a kidney transplant. And somebody uses your medical ID, your information in order to get that kidney transplant. And then you go to then they're like, okay, I need my kidney. They're like, no, we already did that. And you're like, whoa, wasn't me. Not at all. And so that's the big thing. But as far as this Change Healthcare breach that you talked about, 192.7 million Americans, 3 out of 4 Americans got hit by that. You know, it's so easy for us to become complacent because it seems like every other day there's another data breach. But let's talk about the doctor and using AI. About 30% of all physicians are using what's called AI Scribe. So when you go to the doctor, they are recording everything that you say. I mean, so you may go in for just a general physical, and then they ask you about how much alcohol you're drinking, if you're having sex or whatever it may be, and you start talking about everything. All that is going right into your record. Okay. And you know, you may still tell your regular doctor that, but maybe you wouldn't. Now you can, like you said, you can absolutely say no. And you can also ask, like, what type of AI Scribe tool are you using? How long is my recording being stored for? Okay. You can go into your patient portal and look for anything strange and get that taken out. Because I will tell you that for some reason, on my medical record, it had that I had some type of blood disorder.
Oh, no. You never told us about this. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Okay. I don't have a blood disorder.
Well, I take it back then.
Okay. I don't know how it got on there. I don't know where it is. I go to UCLA to get my eyes checked, and they're like, oh, you have a blood disorder. I'm like, I don't have a blood disorder. Okay. So I actually had to write like 3 letters to the Mayo Clinic and say, you need to take this out of the Epic system. Because I don't know how it got in there. I don't have a blood disorder. I'm not on medications. I'm not doing anything, you know.
Maybe there's some guy named Cam Kimando who has the blood disorder. They just mixed up the files.
Well, you know, I started thinking about that. Maybe there was somebody using my medical ID.
Which would be really scary.
Yes, for somebody. Yeah, I mean, because where did that just appear out of nowhere?
Now, if a vasectomy shows up on there, you know someone stole it.
Well, there's that guy.
Oh, that's true.
Did you hear about that, Ann?
No.
Oh, here, Andrew, go ahead.
There was a guy that we had who wrote in, and he was examining in slow motion and magnifying our YouTube videos because we do the YouTube version of the podcast, and he was sure that Kim Commando was actually a man.
Yes, he was positive. Because I have big hands and feet, but I don't have an Adam's apple.
No, but you can get that shaved down.
Can you get that shaved down?
Oh, yeah. It's probably in your medical history.
That with the blood disorder and the vasectomy.
That's right.
Everything's all there.
That's right.
So what you want to do is you want to look on your patient portal, your explanation of benefits. When you get those, we get them via email. How many of us go like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to look at that.
Right.
But you really want to do that. Freeze your credit. At all 4 credit bureaus. People say 3. There's actually 4.
Right.
And so does that help you out?
Oh, terrifically. And again, you're the best. I love you. Take care.
Well, you're awfully
Thank you
sweet.
for taking my call.
Oh, you betcha. Anytime. It's always a pleasure to have a nice friend like Ann.
Yeah. Thanks for taking her call, Kevin. Kim. Darn it.
Darn it.
Let it slip.
A friend of mine's going through a divorce. Not the same one who's breaking up. It seems to be happening around me.
Seriously.
And he was amazed that he went to ChatGPT and said, tell me how I would answer this in arbitration.
Oh, legal advice.
Yes. And where he had Chat be the arbitrator and told him the situation, gave him the documents and said, okay, ask me all the questions. And then they did it once. Then he said they did it again. And he said, give me tougher questions. And then he asked Chat, how could I do better? And then when he went into the arbitration for the divorce proceedings, he said he was so well prepared.
Did he win?
Yes. Yes. So you can use ChatGPT for that. You can use it in case you're looking for a job interview. It really makes a lot of sense. And so if you find yourself in a situation where you want to practice your answers, just fire up your favorite chatbot and give it the situation and say, just drill me with some questions. And we have more of your phone calls coming up here on the Kim Commando Show. Michael in Portland, Maine, you're up next. Welcome aboard, Mike.
Hi, Kim.
What's going on?
I'm really kind of concerned with the scam calls that I've been getting lately. You'll pick up the phone and you'll answer, and then they'll not say anything for a few minutes, and finally you have to hang up. I've been told not to speak after you get one of those calls. The problem I'm having is I'm wondering, first off, why I can't identify the call as not local. And second off, I'm wondering about disguising your voice when you answer from AI.
Well, see, here's the thing. We talked a little bit about this with Ann. About, they only need 3 seconds of your voice in order to duplicate that voice. Those silent calls where nobody says anything, those are normally what they call probe calls. And so they're just testing to see if the line is active and to see if somebody will actually answer. And then it gets transferred to maybe somebody who's actually going to talk to you. So in that delay from the time that you answer it where it's silent, there is that period where you don't hear anything until an actual person picks up.
I did telemarketing in the 90s, and they use a system, it's called essentially a dialer. And if let's say you had 12 people in a call center and they're all actively making calls, it wants to make sure it can hand off a call as fast as possible. And so it's going to call maybe 15 numbers at a time. And sometimes all 12 representatives are busy. And so that's when you get those dead lines. But what, like Kim said, is happening is when you say hello, they're not as much recording your voice so they can steal it, but they are recording down, this is an active phone number with someone who answers scam calls.
And so we're going to keep calling them.
And calling them. And then put them on a list, and we're going to sell that list to another call center.
Because that's the way it works. So that 3 seconds of audio is about 85% accurate. But what scammers are doing is that they're really pulling voice samples from social media, YouTube, TikTok, voicemail greetings, public posts, things like that. The thing that you really have to be careful of is not just deep faking your voice, but I want you to look at your financial entities. You may have heard me talk about this on the air, that I use Morgan Stanley. And I started thinking about this a couple of years ago when I'm like, of anybody in the world who should not have voice authentication, it's me. And you shouldn't either.
No, absolutely.
So I called him up. I said, listen, I don't know if you're using voice authentication on any of my accounts, but we need to turn that off. And I like doing it where you actually call me, and on my phone number, and we do transactions that way. And the gal on the other line, she got a little snippy, saying, well, this is, the way of the future. This is technology working to protect you. And I'm like, sweetheart, I've been on the radio for 25 years. People can take my voice like that. No. Do you need to talk to, and then I'm like, I need to talk to somebody else. Because, that's but then I had to take it off. And then I also had to take it off for Barry. But they were claiming that it was better security. So if you have voice authentication, and you may have already opted in, because that's how I found out, really. I got a little notice that I opted in on voice authentication. I'm like,
when did you opt in?
I think it was just by default.
That's not opting in. That is the opposite of opting in, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, so if you haven't looked at your stuff.
Yeah, I need to.
You just need to say, because anybody could call up and say, hey, it's Andrew. And
I actually saw a piece, I don't know, it was on one of the news programs where they cloned someone's voice, had a woman call in to her husband's, I'm using air quotes because it was a scam, cell phone company. And they're like, well, we need verification from the person. And she's like, oh, let me call him really quick on the other line. They played a recording, and T-Mobile was the company, accepted that as verification and added a phone line.
No, really? Gosh, that's awful. Michael, thank you for your call today. John in Syracuse, New York. You're next. Hi there, John.
Hi, Kim. How you doing?
Wonderful. Wow. Thank
I'm actually talking to you on the phone. Oh, wow.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
Don't try and steal her voice.
Somebody already has. It's all right. So what's happening?
Well, what happened is I wanted to check a person's identity, that he really have any business like they claim he does. And so I went on this website called information.com, put all this junk in there. Okay, we're doing this, criminal records, blah, blah, blah. So it takes about 5 minutes. Then at the end, it says, well, you got to pay. It's supposed to be free. The advertise is free.
Of course they advertise.
99 cents.
Yeah, then they want some money at the end. So who were you looking up and why?
Well, a friend of mine that I have in there, they're claiming they have all these businesses and stuff like that. I want to say what's really true or not. Mm-hmm. But the cleaner was my bank declined the transaction. And when I went to look at the transaction, they weren't charging me 99 cents. They were charging me $29.95. So I think the bank declined it.
Okay, so wait.
It was advertised on the website as 99 cents, but when you click buy, they charge you $30.
Well, first they claim it was free, okay? And then when you go to the very last to get the report, it said 99 cents. You have 5 minutes to get this for 99 cents.
It's a big scam, John. That's just a big scam.
Right. So,
good for your bank to block the charge.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I told the bank that they blocked it. But is there any sites I can go on that are really genuine to look up a person, whether who they have businesses or who they are, stuff like that?
Well, you can always do a state business search. I mean, that's where I would start, and that's free. You go to the Secretary of State business lookup page. And
Secretary
of State.
Repeat again,
Secretary of State, business lookup. That's what it's called. So you're just going to search like New York business entity search. And then if it's a legitimate business, it's going to be registered in that state. And it's going to tell you who the secretary is and where their place of business is and how many employees, maybe even some type of revenues. You can also look at county property records. Most of those are online where you can type in somebody's last name. And then you can see what type of property that they do have. You can put the person's name in quotes and the state in order to see if there's anything that might pop up there. Also look at court records, Freedom of Information Acts. USPS will do address verification. But yeah, I mean, I always search anybody that I'm doing any type of business deal. And if they have a P.O. box, that's always a big red flag to me.
Really?
Yeah. Why, do you have one?
Yeah, of course I do.
Big red flag. Just saying. No, because I mean, I want to see their address or if they have a burner or VoIP number or a Google Voice number.
But they're trying to protect themselves. I mean, we talked about earlier in the show that you went out and saw Nancy Guthrie's entire life online. If they had a P.O. box and a burner number, you wouldn't have their real information.
There is that. It's
a little safer that way.
It is safer. But if I'm going to be doing a deal with somebody, I mean, I would probably ask.
Right.
Like, well, how come P.O. box? What's your real phone number? I mean, because that's just me. Because if I'm going to do business with you, I want to make sure I know every single thing about you. Because too many deals have gone down badly. And if somebody's bragging about their online businesses, about how great they're doing, they're probably not doing that great.
Probably lying.
I mean, they're sitting there on social media saying, oh, look at me making money.
Right. Every single person that says they got rich quick and you can buy their program or whatever online, they're not rich.
Do you know in Burbank and Santa Monica Airport, you can rent a private jet, okay, where the sole purpose is for you to go on the jet, take pictures of you getting on the jet, pictures of you sitting in the jet, and so that this way you can post it on social media about how great you're doing.
People are so vain.
Isn't that nuts? All right, coming back, food prices are changing while you shop and what you can do about it here on the Kim Komando Show. All right, so grocery stores are now using ESLs, electronic shelf labels, and these allow prices to change in real time based on demand, weather, inventory, even the time of day. So you got to be really, really careful. If you want to save money, you can use cashback apps. You can maybe get money back by buying things you're already going to buy when it's on sale. But be sure to always use the grocery store's loyalty program. But you can always use Jenny's phone number, 867-5309.
867-5309.
With your area code, works almost every time. Hey, don't forget to enter our February cash grab at winfromkim.com. Hey, thanks for listening. Can you do me a quick favor? Wherever you get your podcasts, this is super important. And I'm begging you, please, please, please do this just for me. Leave a great 5-star review because that helps other people find the show. It's kind of like gaming the algorithm. And if you haven't already, make sure that you enter to win in our February cash grab. Go to winfromkim.com. You maybe have heard me say that before here on the podcast, but you really should enter to win. That's winfromkim.com. And thanks for listening.
How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Tap the banner or visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.